Most people scrolling through their news feeds don't realize something extraordinary is happening right now in the Middle East that should be getting far more attention than it is. Syria, now governed by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, commonly known as HTS, has just experienced a complete political transformation that's reshaping the entire nation's trajectory. And what's happening next is absolutely shocking to anyone who understands modern geopolitics. A country that has been cut off from the international community for over a decade is suddenly magnetizing some of the world's biggest and most sophisticated investors. And the reason behind this dramatic shift? A $4 billion airport development project that's positioning itself to become the crucial gateway to an entire nation's economic future and regional influence. Before we break down exactly what's happening here and why it matters so much, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because in the next few minutes, you're going to discover why this project represents far more than just construction. It's a barometer of global stability, a sign of regional transformation, and possibly one of the most significant infrastructure bets being made anywhere in the world right now. Let's dive deep into this story. Let me paint you a picture of where Syria was just recently. The country had endured nearly 14 years of devastating civil war that destroyed virtually everything. We're talking about infrastructure that was bombed, burned, and dismantled. The economy was completely shattered, with unemployment reaching catastrophic levels. Airports were essentially non-functional. Schools were destroyed. Hospitals were damaged. Most major economists and international analysts had essentially written off Syria's future, suggesting it would take 2 or even 3 decades just to begin rebuilding from the ruins. The prevailing sentiment in global financial markets was that Syria represented too much risk, too much uncertainty, and too much instability for any serious investor to consider. But then something extraordinary happened that caught most observers completely off guard. This is where the story gets genuinely remarkable. In November 2025, something absolutely shocking took place that nobody was really expecting. Syria announced and then officially signed a $4 billion contract with an international consortium that was being led by Qatar's UCC holding company. Now, before you just gloss over that number, let me make sure you understand how massive this actually is. This isn't just a significant investment. This represents the single largest foreign investment in Syria's entire recorded history. Not just the largest for an airport, not just the largest for infrastructure projects, but the absolute largest foreign investment that has ever come into the entire country at any point in its modern existence. This is a truly historic moment. Let that sink in for a moment, because it reveals something crucial about what's changing in global geopolitics. A country that was recovering from a devastating civil war, a country where entire cities have been destroyed, a country where millions of people had fled as refugees, just secured a foreign investment that is larger than the entire national budgets of many sovereign nations around the world. This single deal tells you something absolutely critical is shifting. The Middle East is transforming. International confidence in certain parts of the region is returning. And we're going to explore exactly what that means for Syria, for the region, and potentially for global investment patterns moving forward. Now, I know you're probably wondering to yourself, who on earth would invest this kind of massive amount of money in Syria right now? What could possibly convince the world's most sophisticated investors and major government entities to put $4 billion on the line? That question is actually the first major clue that everything is shifting in ways that most people haven't quite grasped yet. The coalition of companies and entities behind this project reads like a who's who of international construction powerhouses and major geopolitical players. Understanding who these players are reveals why this project carries so much weight. Leading the entire charge is Qatar's UCC holding company, working through its specialized subsidiary called Erbakan Concessions Investment. Now, UCC Holding isn't some unknown company that's taking a wild gamble. This is a firm with an incredibly impressive track record. They're the same organization that successfully constructed and developed Hamad International Airport in Qatar, which opened in 2014 and became one of the most advanced and efficient airports in the entire world. They also built Rwanda International Airport, which has become a symbol of African development, and shows their ability to bring world-class infrastructure to different regions and contexts. But it doesn't stop there, and this is where you start seeing how serious this project really is. Joining the consortium are two major Turkish construction companies with serious international pedigree. There's Cengiz Insat and there's Kalyan Insat. These aren't small contractors doing local work. These are companies that have built some of the most impressive and complex infrastructure projects anywhere in the world. Kalyan Insat, for instance, was the primary contractor for Istanbul's IGA airport, which was constructed in record time and became a global success story that earned international acclaim. They managed to build one of the world's most modern airports in a compressed timeline and under challenging conditions. Now they're bringing that same expertise and experience to Damascus. The consortium also includes Assets Investments, a New York-based company with significant international investment experience. But here's what makes this truly geopolitically significant. The U.S. Special Envoy to Syria, Tom Barak, personally attended the signing ceremony. This wasn't treated like a typical business transaction. This was a geopolitical moment. The presence of the American Special Envoy at the signing was essentially the United States government officially signaling its support for Syria's reconstruction and its confidence in the direction the new HTS government is taking the country. That kind of official endorsement matters enormously to other investors. Why would all these major international companies and governments choose to invest together in this particular moment? The answer reveals something crucial about how investors think, because they collectively see something that we need to understand clearly. They see Syria as a nation that is genuinely reopening to the world. After more than a decade of isolation, of sanctions, of international pariah status, major international corporations and major governments are making a calculated and deliberate bet that Syria under HTS leadership is stable enough, trustworthy enough, and focused enough to invest in seriously. And they're putting real money, massive amounts of money, where their optimism is. But here's what really makes this story shocking. The real shock isn't just about who's building this project. It's about what exactly they're building, how massive the scope really is, and the incredibly aggressive timeline they've committed to. Let's talk about the actual project itself, because the scale is genuinely stunning. This isn't a simple renovation or a minor upgrade. This is a complete and total transformation of Damascus International Airport into what will become one of the most advanced and sophisticated aviation hubs anywhere in the Middle East. The entire project is being executed across 5 distinct phases, and understanding these phases shows you how carefully this has been planned. The timeline of each phase matters tremendously because decisions about when things open reveal strategic thinking at the highest levels. The first phase is happening right now, and the timeline is genuinely aggressive by international standards. Terminal 2, a completely brand new passenger terminal designed to meet the highest international standards, is scheduled to be fully operational and ready to handle passengers by mid-2026. That timing is strategic. By scheduling the opening before the Hajj season, which is the busiest travel period for airports serving the Middle East, the developers are positioning the airport to capture that crucial revenue period. This is strategic planning by experienced people who understand how aviation works. While Terminal 2 is opening and handling passengers, Terminal 1 is simultaneously undergoing a complete redesign and renovation from the ground up. We're talking about completely updated interiors that will have modern aesthetics. We're talking about state-of-the-art service facilities that will meet international standards. We're talking about cutting-edge technology integration that will make passenger processing far more efficient. By the end of 2026, just 12 months after Terminal 2 opens its doors, Terminal 1 will be fully ready for operation as well. Together, these two terminals alone will boost the airport's total capacity to 6 million passengers annually. That's a massive jump from what the airport can currently handle. But that's genuinely just the beginning of what's being planned. The vision for this project is radically larger and more ambitious than many people realize. Terminal 3 is being constructed right now to meet the highest international aviation standards, the same standards you see at the world's most advanced airports. When Terminal 3's first phase is complete, the airport's total capacity jumps dramatically to 16 million passengers annually. This is significant growth. But here's what's truly remarkable. Eventually, when the entire multi-phase project is finished, when all the planned construction is complete, Damascus International Airport will be capable of handling 31 million passengers per year at full capacity. Let me put that number into perspective so you understand how massive this actually is. An airport handling 31 million passengers annually would make it larger than many major airports that serve entire continents. It would rank it among the busiest airports in the world. For context, London Gatwick Airport handles around 46 million passengers, and it serves one of the world's largest metropolitan areas. This transformation will happen through essentially a complete modernization of every aspect of the airport's infrastructure, from the runways to the terminals to the ground support systems. This project is genuinely far more than just terminals and runways being constructed. The architectural vision behind this transformation is being created by Zaha Hadid Architects, which is the legendary firm known worldwide for designing some of the most iconic and visually stunning buildings on the planet. Their portfolio includes the Haydar Aliyev Center in Baku, the Guangzhou Opera House in China, and countless other structures that have won international acclaim and redefined what's possible in architectural design. They're creating a facility that combines cutting-edge technology with a design philosophy that reflects Damascus's unique identity, its rich historical heritage, and its cultural significance. This isn't just functional infrastructure. This is architecture that tells a story. The project scope includes elements that go far beyond typical airport construction. There's a 5-star hotel being constructed on airport grounds that will serve international travelers and business visitors. But the vision extends much further than hospitality. The entire redesign incorporates a free trade zone that will allow for duty-free commerce and international trade activities. The airport will feature advanced passenger boarding systems that streamline the boarding process. Electronic gates will process passengers at unprecedented speed, using facial recognition and biometric technology that reduces friction in the travel experience. There will be world-class retail and dining options from major international brands, transforming the airport experience from purely functional to genuinely luxurious. But wait, because the investment package extends even further than the airport itself. The consortium committed an additional $250 million specifically for aircraft financing. This is crucial because Syria is purchasing 10 brand new Airbus A320 aircraft to completely modernize Syrian Airlines, the national carrier. This means that international routes that haven't operated in over a decade will be coming back online. Airlines that suspended operations when Syria became unstable will be returning. New routes will be opening that connect Syria to Europe, Asia, and across the Middle East. This aircraft purchase is about restoring Syria's connectivity to the global aviation network. They're also redeveloping and modernizing a 50-kilometer access road corridor to the airport. Think about that for a moment. They're not just updating the airport itself. They're updating everything around it. They're updating the entire transportation corridor that feeds into Damascus. The roads are being widened. The infrastructure is being modernized. This makes getting to and from the airport a smooth, efficient experience. It transforms how people access the facility. Here's what's genuinely staggering about the economic impact. During the implementation of this entire project, officials estimate it will create over 90,000 direct and indirect jobs. 90,000. In a country that has been economically devastated by years of conflict, that has unemployment rates that are dangerously high, that has millions of displaced people trying to rebuild their lives, 90,000 jobs represents an economic lifeline. This isn't just infrastructure development. This is economic reconstruction in its most practical form. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is this actually happening right now? What changed that suddenly makes Syria attractive to international investors? The answer reveals something much bigger about global politics, about how governments change, and about how quickly investor sentiment can shift. This investment makes sense only when you understand what happened in Syria just over a year ago and why that event fundamentally changed everything about how the international community views the country. When major international companies, when governments like Qatar and the UAE, when American special envoys are willing to invest billions in a country that was ravaged by civil war just 1 year prior, they're making a clear and calculated bet on peace and stability. They're betting that Syria's transition won't reverse. They're betting that HTS governance will hold. They're betting that the international environment will remain conducive to investment. That's a positive signal about global stability, even if it's being overshadowed by other regional concerns that get more media attention. Third, from Syria's perspective, this is genuinely existential. The country desperately needs economic revival. It needs jobs for its population. It needs to rebuild its destroyed infrastructure. It needs to show its citizens that stability is possible, that peace can lead to prosperity, that their future is brighter than their recent past. This airport project delivers on all those needs simultaneously. It's not just economic development for its own sake. It's a signal that Syria is genuinely open for business again. It's a tangible demonstration that international companies believe in Syria's future. Fourth, this represents a potential shift in global investment patterns and how post-conflict nations approach reconstruction. Other countries emerging from conflict are watching what's happening in Syria. They're paying attention to how quickly Syria has attracted massive international investment after achieving peace. If Syria can attract this level of investment this quickly after the transition to HTS governance, that changes the calculus for post-conflict reconstruction everywhere. It shows that international investors will move fast if they see stability and opportunity. Fifth, think about what this means for regional connectivity and how people will move through the Middle East. Airlines from the Gulf are already resuming flights to Damascus. Emirates, the major carrier from Dubai, resumed flights to Damascus in 2025 after a 13-year suspension caused by the conflict and instability. Air Arabia is establishing routes to Damascus. Etihad Airways announced new routes. As Terminal 2 opens and capacity increases, as more terminals come online, expect major international carriers to establish hub operations at Damascus. This could reshape Middle Eastern aviation permanently. It could change where people connect flights, where airlines base operations, how cargo moves through the region. Conclusion. Here's the bottom line that you need to understand. Syria is building something genuinely extraordinary right now. They're building an airport that will be among the world's most advanced and sophisticated when fully complete. But more importantly than the physical structure, they're sending a signal to the world that their nation is opening up. They're betting on their own future, and the world's largest and most sophisticated investors are joining that bet by putting real money on the line. The $4 billion investment from Qatar's UCC Holding Consortium, supported by Turkish companies, American oversight, and regional partners, isn't just about terminals and runways and logistics. It's about transformation. It's about a nation emerging from darkness into genuine possibility. It's about saying to the world that stability matters and that investment will follow. And it's happening right now, in real time, while the world is watching. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you don't miss coverage of the next major geopolitical shifts that are reshaping global economics and international relations. Hit that like button because understanding these transformations at the economic and infrastructure level helps you stay ahead of global economic trends and see where opportunities are emerging. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Syria's reconstruction. Do you think this airport will truly become a major regional hub? Do you believe the HTS government will maintain stability? Thanks for watching this deep dive into one of the most significant infrastructure projects happening anywhere in the world right now.